Okay, live stream. Share the link. Yeah, I. So I think Ben is like legit afraid of you now because you said, "Why did you like?" You were talking about the wrestling thing. It's like, I told you he'd be mad. I told you it is. And I'm like, oh, it's fine.
He takes me too seriously. Like I feel like I legitimately offend him whenever I make a joke, and I'm like, no, don't take me serious. Like ever, don't ever take me seriously.
Yeah.
We should all just be fake mad at him one day, and he'll be like, guys, what's wrong?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's fine. Like he agreed to be part of a video I'm doing, so like, he seems fine. But
okay,
it's weird he hasn't like. I don't think he's been on this show as long as I have. But yeah, I thought something was up with him.
Or maybe he's just fooling around like us.
Probably. Maybe we take him too seriously.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
Ooh.
Didn't think of it that way.
Did not.
Did not think of it that way.
All right. Link is live on Patreon. We're streaming now. Hey, everybody.
Cool. I don't know how to commentate anymore.
Just say cool like forever, or say cool 3 times fast every now and then.
Cool.
Incredible.
Fantastic.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't believe.
You won't believe the 8 things that are going to be said on this podcast. Number 4 will blow your mind. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chart Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, best friends gather around and talk about the news in gaming. This week, back from his honeymoon and galloping all over Europe. Or I guess just in one area.
Ireland.
Yeah, just Ireland. Justin.
I'm still drinking wedding beer, and I'm not really complaining. I'm just kind of sharing. But yeah, it's been like 2 weeks, and I'm still drinking wedding beer.
Nice.
Any beer is a good beer.
It's true. It's a little flat, but you know,
it'll do. We also have Lo.
Hey everyone.
You're so relaxed.
Can I tell him?
Yeah, go tell him.
So we're recording this on not our usual day. So I was like, oh yeah, no problem. We'll be fine. And then so I wake up this morning. I'm like, oh, great. I just slept so well. What time is it? Oh crap. It's like 10:30, 10:45. I've been like, they're waiting for me. So I ran downstairs. Well, I threw some cold water on my face, ran downstairs, and grabbed the first coffee cup I could find. And it turns out it was one of the girls' coffee cups. I don't know if you can see, but it says, "Happy girls are the prettiest." So,
oh, there's a pretty girl.
Oh, yeah. So that's me today. Hello, everyone.
He's the prettiest girl.
I am the prettiest and the happy.
Yeah, so I kind of want to just talk to Justin real quick about what kind of craziness he's been up to since he's been away.
Yeah, because this is usually where we talk about what games we've been playing, but about that.
Yeah.
So I also still have a cough, so if it's annoying, I apologize.
Yeah.
It's imagine that you travel and you get sick. Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I took the Switch, on my honeymoon with me, and I've pretty much just played Mario, like the entire time because it's all I really had. I played a little bit of Zelda like this past few days. I know this is about my honeymoon, but whatever. I played a little bit of Zelda the past few days because of the Xenoblade Chronicles, like little DLC thing, like the side quest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been kind of too busy like living to play games.
Yeah.
So, plus now that I'm back, I'm broke. So like we got wedding money, but that's all going towards like a down payment on a house in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because we want to be adults now and actually like have our marriage home. So yeah, I don't really have money for new games or anything, but I have done a lot, just not play games. So sorry for the people that come to the Gamescast for video games, you idiots.
God damn.
Gotcha.
Welcome back. yeah, so I, got married. You guys know this. And if you don't, welcome to your first week of the show.
Yeah, we get new listeners.
And went to Ireland for my honeymoon. So I've never been out of the country before. This was my first time flying, first time out of the country, all of that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Traveling's kind of exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
On the way there, like I went through customs or whatever. They did like the TSA. You put all your stuff into a box and they put it through their little thing to make sure there's no bombs or anything in it.
Oh yeah.
And I was trying to be comfortable because, like I said, I'd never been on a plane, and I figured I'd sleep because it was like it was a 6-hour flight, and we're going 6 hours into the future as far as time zones. So it was basically a 12-hour flight. We left at like 5:45 and got there like right around 5:30, something like that, in the morning.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if I don't sleep on the plane, like I'm gonna basically be awake for 2 days essentially, because we couldn't check back into the hotel until like noon or something the day we got there. So they let us drop our bags off in the hotel at like 5 a.m, but then we still had to wander around without sleeping or changing or anything like that. So yeah, I dressed comfortably, like some like kind of track pants with like zip up pockets, just in case there was any like shenanigans with the people around me. And I go through TSA, put all my stuff on there, and I also have like kind of a pullover with like a hoodie pocket. And I had like a beanie in case it got cold in my hoodie pocket, and my my wallet and my phone in my pockets. Totally forgot about all that stuff. So I go through, and they're like, "So we have to have you step over here, because your pockets flagged our system." So they pulled out my hoodie pocket, which was just a beanie, like harmless beanie, and then had to like pat me down to make sure it was just my wallet and phone in my pockets, and it was the most awkward thing. And Brooke was laughing at me, my wife.
Great.
So first thing, getting onto a plane, I get patted. It was relatively harmless actually. Like they just did like the down my legs basically. I think they've kind of figured out the technology so it's not like just because you flag they have to check every crevice. But yeah, it was still a little scary, honestly. And we get in there, get on the first plane. It's like this tiny little plane just going from St. Louis to DC, because there's no like direct flight from Missouri to Ireland. So it's this little, probably like 30-seater plane, like 2 seats on one side, 1 seat on the other. And it wasn't bad for my first flight because like I think the smaller planes are a little easier to deal with.
Yeah.
But like, and it was only like a 2-hour flight. But there was a bit more turbulence because it's a smaller plane. Right, so that was a little jarring to get used to. And then we got to DC a little bit early, which was good because there was only like barely an hour layover between one flight and the next. And we got dropped off like literally in the other side of the airport from where our terminal was. So we were like, we got there probably 20-30 minutes early, and we were like booking it to our terminal.
Oh yeah.
Because we were worried. We're like, okay, we need to get across this airport, pee, because it's a 6-hour flight, and then get on the plane in time because they usually do check in like 15-20 minutes early. So yeah, we had to like go across. You have to like take this train to the other section of the airport. It's like this huge DC airport. Of course, over in DC, it's going to be a huge airport. And so there's all the stuff we had to do. It took about 30 minutes just to get to our terminal from landing and grabbing our bags. And then we get on the bigger plane, the Aer Lingus plane, which I thought was a funny name, and a little clover on the airplane.
Nice.
Because it's like direct flights to Ireland. So yeah, it was like their Irish airline. All the pilots and the flight attendants and stuff had Irish accents. It was a nice way to acclimate. Yeah, we got on there, and it actually had like the the built-in screens on the seats and everything. They had a few in-flight meals and stuff, so it was actually kind of nice. Like that was like a proper flight experience.
That's cool.
But we didn't get to sit together. It was this dumb thing like you have to wait like 24 hours before the flight to check in, like check your seat. And so we waited like basically 24 hours before then, and all of the seats were gone. Except like just a few middle seats, because no one wanted the middle seats. They figure, hey, if I'm going to sit by a stranger, I might as well be 1 seat apart. So all that was left was like middle seats all the way down to the back of the plane. So So we were just both in middle seats, like one row away from each other. So she would like lean in between the seats to talk to me and like hand me things. But sorry, you can get that. But yeah, so I pretty much just spent the whole time like playing the Switch a little bit, but I was kind of cramped between two bigger people. So I like actually put it on the tray and like, you know, pulled off the Joy-Con, was like playing like really close to my body with the Joy-Con. But hey, it made use of the Switch. Like that, I see the novelty of that tabletop mode now.
It works. It works.
Yeah, exactly. Because I didn't have room to like have the whole thing in tablet mode up by me. So that way, yeah, it was kind of nice.
But
once there was a little turbulence,
trying to look at what you were playing?
Not really.
No.
Like the one guy in the window seat literally slept the entire time. He woke up to eat and then passed back out. So he was just leaning against the edge of the plane the whole time.
Nice.
And the other guy, like I swear I smelled alcohol on him when he got on, and it could have just been one of those like some people need to drink a little bit to fly. But yeah, so he was just kind of like to himself, just like kind of. He was bigger, so he was like spilling over the seat a little bit, but he was like closed up on himself, just trying to do his own thing.
Okay.
He like put a movie on and then fall asleep halfway through it, and yeah, I was pretty much left alone. It wasn't bad.
Nice.
But I had like I would put a movie on the screen and then have the Switch on the tabletop on the tray. So I'd be like kind of watching a movie and playing Mario at the same time. It was pretty chill.
Nice.
It went by quick.
Cool.
The food was okay. It was, I don't know, it's kind of weird to have airplane food on your tiny little tray table with other people around you, but it was fine. But I watched the King Kong movie.
Skull Island or something?
Yeah, Kong Island. Thank you.
Okay.
It was okay. Like I basically I kept trying to put things on the screen that like I would probably fall asleep during, but was kind of interested in. So like I would nod off a little bit, and then like a big action thing would happen, and I'd pop back up. Because I got new headphones. My old ones broke, so I got some new ones before the flight that would be Bluetooth and plug-in, so I could use them on the computer, but also use them on my phone on the trip. But they have noise cancellation, like really good noise cancellation.
Nice.
So I flipped that on the plane, drowned out everything but the movie. So during some of the quiet sections where they're just talking, like it would just be completely quiet, just like, you know, a little bit of like I don't care what you're saying. It's a King Kong movie. And then I'd start to fall asleep, and then Kong would bust through. I'm like, oh, what? I'm awake. Okay. And then I watched the King Arthur, like that new King Arthur movie was on there.
Oh, yeah.
It was okay. Like there was some cool action scenes, but for the most part, it was nonsense. That was pretty much it on the way there, because like I said, I tried to sleep and play games most of the time. On the way back, I'll just jump ahead a little bit. On the way back, me and Brooke actually got to sit together because they moved our seats.
Yeah.
They saw that we weren't, and they're like, "Oh no, I can put you guys together. It's no big deal." So it's like, "Oh, thank you." But we watched. There was a few things on there that we both wanted to watch, but like we're like, you know, what's the point in watching it when we can't even talk to each other or anything? So yeah, we watched the new Alien movie, like Alien Covenant, which was again kind of nonsense, but okay. There was some tense moments, but mostly it was just kind of dumb sci-fi, like Prometheus sequel. But she had never seen an Alien movie before, apparently. I didn't realize that because she was the one that said, that new Alien movie's on there. We should watch it on the way home. So I thought she had watched other Alien movies. But no, it was the first.
What?
So luckily it was kind of like an origin story for the aliens. But like the first time one busted through a guy, she was like, that's so disgusting. I was like, yeah, that's Alien. And then we watched The Big Sick, which is really good. It was censored on the airplane version, which is weird because Alien wasn't, and that's a much more gruesome movie. But yeah, The Big Sick was censored, just like taking out the F-bombs basically. But it's still a really good movie. It's kind of a true story with Kumail Nanjiani and his wife, like kind of their origin story, where she was like sick and in a coma for like weeks, like right after they broke up. Because he was saying that like his parents need him in an arranged marriage, and he had been hiding that from her their whole relationship. And she's like, okay, clearly I can't be with you because you have to be in an arranged marriage, so let's just end this. And then like the next call he gets is like from her friend saying that she's in the hospital. So he spends like the whole time she's in the hospital, he's by her side, like bonding with her parents and learning that he really does love her, and like will like tell his parents like, hey, I'm not going to be in an arranged marriage because of this woman. And then she wakes up and doesn't know that any of this has happened, so she still hates him. And so it's this really interesting way, like it's an entirely true story about the relationship, but different casting, of course. And it's this really interesting look into like the the differences in like religion and culture. And just I don't know, I really liked it. It's probably one of my favorite. Like I wouldn't necessarily call it a comedy, even though it is a comedy, but it's one of my favorite like dramedies of the year. And I admit to see it a long time ago and just never got to because it wasn't in theaters here because it had limited release. So yeah, it's not something I plan to watch on a plane, but I'll take it. But it is on Amazon Instant now, so you guys should check it out without the censoring. And then, yeah, those are the two we wanted to watch together. And then we kind of did our own thing, and I watched most of the new Fast and the Furious, even though I didn't watch 7 yet. But it was the only other thing on there that really like I hadn't already seen because it was like Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, a few things like that on there, but I'd already seen them. And it was one that I'm like, I can watch this until we have to put our screens away. But yeah, so I watched a lot of things, which was kind of cool. Nice. I didn't really expect.
Yeah.
And then we got to Ireland. I'm like 15 minutes into the story and haven't even talked about Ireland yet. We got to Ireland and like I got a international data plan, like one of those like every day you use it, it charges you.
Yeah.
Just in case we needed it, and I didn't use it at all. It was kind of cool. Like, we just explored. Like we'd walk around. She had the offline maps downloaded, and so we'd use like the GPS location with the offline maps to kind of find our way around. And like while we were eating and stuff, we just we talked. Like the novelty of talking to each other. Without...
You talked?
Yeah, exactly. I talked to my wife. What?
How can't be right. How does that work? I'd like to know.
I don't know. I mean, some of it was like we'd show each other the pictures and video we had taken. Like if we were on the bus to a new location or whatever, it's like, hey, let me see the pictures you took today. And so we kind of talk about that stuff. So we'd still be using our phones, just not the data. But yeah, it was kind of nice. Like for a week, like we pretty much only used internet like at the hotel, or occasionally at like a restaurant that had Wi-Fi if we wanted to check in real quick. Things like that. It was really cool. I kind of liked it. But yeah, the trip itself was a lot of fun. I don't want to get into it too much because I'm actually going through like a bunch of vlogs, like all the footage and pictures and stuff we took, and piecing that together into probably like 4 or 5 parts. Because we're there for a week, and pretty much every day was something worthwhile. Like we went to the Guinness factory, like the storehouse they have, which was amazing. We spent like 4 hours there. It was way bigger than I thought it was. So that'll be like a whole vlog on its own just that day.
That's cool.
And like we did the Game of Thrones tour, went to all these different locations. So I'm gonna cut that together and like kind of show like the side by sides of like where we were and what it looked like in the show and things like that. So like I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. So I don't want to go too much into it because I kind of want to like it's one of those things you want to show, not tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's really fun. But I've really enjoyed traveling because I've been all over the country. I've been to like probably half the states in this country, but I'd never flown and I'd never been out of the country. And it was so jarring, like people driving on the other side of the road and just like, cultural differences, like words they use, like the accents and all this stuff. We took a little boat ride. We went to this kind of little seaside town called Howth one day, just for the afternoon. And we took a boat ride kind of around the island. And there was like this German girl that was on the boat with us because it was just kind of a little tourism thing. And she was in the country for like 2 weeks learning English. It was like just kind of like an education thing. It's like her school pays for her to, or like some kind of getaway thing, pays for her to go like talk to people, learn English, and then come back.
Wow.
Like with the with the better vocabulary. So we were talking to her a little bit on the boat, and she was just like it's so different over here. It's like on the Game of Thrones tour, we were sitting like across from this other Irish couple that lived in Dublin, but like we're up in Belfast, which is where the tour was. They were up in Belfast for vacation. So it's like, Irish people in another part of Ireland for vacation. We were from another country in Ireland for vacation, which is kind of funny. So we're both kind of talking about like the differences in Belfast and between Belfast and Dublin. And even then, like there's like 2 countries kind of inside of Ireland because of like some political turmoil and stuff that happened there
Yeah.
halfway. And I never knew that. And so there's like a lot of really interesting stuff we learned just about the country of Ireland and everything.
Yeah, there's
Um,
it's Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like the architecture and everything is completely different because like Dublin is way older than everything and Belfast is. And yeah, it was just so cool. Like we went to basically 3 cities because like we were in Dublin, Howth, and Belfast. And then like with the Game of Thrones tour, we kind of went up into some of the countryside areas that like weren't Belfast, but I don't really remember what they were. They were just kind of little small seaside towns and things like that. But like just traveling around the country, like this small kind of secluded island, like things are completely different depending on where you are. And it's kind of fascinating to see not only the differences in the culture of country, but in culture within the country.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I loved it. Like we wanted to spend longer. We weren't really ready to come back. It was one of the few times like I didn't feel homesick at the end of the week. But yeah, we're already talking about going back sometime.
Nice. Jinx.
Or at least to another part of Europe. Maybe not Ireland, but more of Europe.
All right.
But yeah, that's all I got for now. But like I said, there'll be vlogs out. I'll promote them later.
All right, cool. Lo, what have you been up to? Have you traveled to any countries?
No.
nothing as cool as Justin, right?
Nope.
I should have gone last.
Yeah, that's a tough act to follow. No, I haven't really done too much. Actually forgot to mention this last week on the podcast, but my pops, he actually went and got me a new drone. It's the DJI Mavic Pro. So I've been kind of playing around with that and stuff. It's kind of annoying because, well, it's just like a thing that's cool and it's annoying at the same time. Like it comes with this app, which actually tells you like what kind of airspace you're in. So if you're in like a restricted airspace or if you're not supposed to fly or anything like that, then it'll say, hey, you're not supposed to fly here, go somewhere else. And basically if you're within 5 miles of an airport or in 5 miles of like a helipad or something like that, and there's a hospital just a few blocks up and they have the helipad thing. So I can't even go to the freaking park. And, like,
that sucks.
Yeah, it's annoying, but it's okay because that's the nice thing about living out here is like it's the desert. So if you drive like 30 minutes in any direction, you're basically in the middle of nowhere. So that's pretty much what I did. I took it up, got some pretty cool aerial shots. I'm gonna edit that up and yeah, and then I'll be sharing that pretty soon.
Cool.
Other than that, not too much. Just my Fortniting, just doing my dailies and crap. I got gifted a copy of Destiny 2. Thanks, bud. And so I've just been kind of getting into that, just trying to just level up and stuff like that, just trying to get out of like all the noob territory. Fun game. It's pretty. It's beautiful. And that's pretty much it. My week's been pretty boring.
Yeah.
Also, just sleeping in too late. That's also what I've been up to.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It was like 1 p.m. when you woke up.
I know.
Yeah, so yeah, I gave you a copy of Destiny 2. You're playing Warlock, right?
Yeah, Warlock.
Yeah. I finally figured out how to do their jumps. I think I said it on the podcast a while back.
Yeah.
If you need help on jumping as a Warlock, I could give you some tips.
It's very momentum based, I realize. Like if you're like already like mid jump and then like you hit it again, it's like, oh, I'm gonna kind of like float off in this direction. Cool. And then there's like a few little like perk things that give you more like air control and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what I played in Destiny 1, because I remember having like kind of a hover. Like one you can like shoot down, like hold in the air and shoot downward while you're still in the air.
Yeah, the Titan has a strafe jump that's similar to it. But I use that mostly because it's better when you're fighting against enemies instead of trying to platform. So I guess that's just me. I recently bought an Elgato HC60S. It's supposed to come in the mail today. So I opened up my package. I got this box.
Ooh.
And live unboxing.
Live unboxing of the Elgato. Let's see if I can open it up now. I was opening it up off. Here we go. And ta-da!
Wait.
Ta-da!
Wait,
Is that what came in?
wait,
Yeah.
What?
wait. Is the box? Was it empty?
Ta-da!
You
Is
already
this a
took it out,
magic
right?
trick? This is an illusion, right? You're illusioning right in front of our eyes.
This direction? Sleight of hand?
And here
Something
it is.
magicians do?
No, yeah. It was an empty box. I have to send it back to Amazon.
Wow.
That
Good old
sucks.
Amazon Canada.
Wow.
This happens a lot. I should know I work in Amazon stuff.
So what? They probably get to the factory and like they'll open your package. Take
This
the
isn't
thing out,
even the
and ship
box
these in your house.
for the Elgato. This is the random brown box.
Oh yeah, that's true. Wow. That's ridiculous.
Oh man.
Uh,
Like I've done that at gaming stores before. Like I'll walk out, I'm like, oh, they forgot to put my disc in here. But like, I mean, it's a package. It went through a process. Somebody at some point should have, or I would assume, someone's like, oh yeah, this thing's in here. Send it off.
yeah.
But I guess not.
No.
It's definitely
Amazon
in the
pickers don't care about that at all. They just see, yeah, right bin. Let's take the thing out.
Is it a thing? Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exciting. I also ran into another crazy person on the road coming home Friday.
Oh no.
One of these days I'm just gonna like try and pit maneuver someone that's trying to pass me going like 200 kilometers an hour or something.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Bad drivers only exist in the country, I feel. They don't exist. Well, in the city it's a bit different, but country they don't give a shit. They do whatever the hell they want. Yeah, I've played not a whole lot. It's been Black Friday week, so work's been super busy.
Mm-hmm.
I've basically just been coming home and sleeping right after, or working on Charge Shot content, like the wrestling episode and the Justice League episode that we're going to be putting up Wednesday. So it should already be up for the public. Justice is going to go see Justice League a little bit later today.
Sorry, I missed the review.
It would have been nice to have your take on it.
I mean, honestly, like I wanted to watch it before then, but you know, it just
Yeah.
wasn't possible.
Mhm.
But like, I wasn't planning to like rush out and see it until I started like hearing some other people's opinions on it. That was saying like, yeah, it's kind of a mess, but it's actually like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And like, Vin was one of the main ones, so I really wanted to hear his opinion like there. So I'll just listen to the review. That's fine. But there's a few others that were like kind of on the fence a little bit, and then some that were like, okay, well, there's some bad parts. Like it's so cool to see the Justice League on screen finally, and
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, fine, I'll watch it. Like
That's actually
I feel like,
kind of our take too. Like we
Yeah.
believe it's like a train, like it's not a train wreck, but it's like a real Frankenstein movie with a lot of there's a lot of bad writing, but like it's just there's a lot of really great moments in that movie. You
yeah,
can hear
and
more of
that's
it.
all you really need to care about. Like it's
Yeah.
a movie; it's not going to be perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you have fun with it, that's all that matters.
So yeah, did a bunch of that stuff. I've been playing Picross again on my Switch. Almost done all the puzzles on Picross.
Nice.
I've been playing that way more than Mario Odyssey, so Picross is better than Mario.
Wow,
Interesting.
judgment.
It's just like I said, it's like playing a game of Sudoku. Like it's just something to do while you're watching other things or doing something else. And that's
I mean,
basically
I collect moons while doing other things. So
yeah, but I would rather pay attention to the thing I'm watching.
do you have over 500 moons in Picross?
We have over there's 300 puzzles in Picross. So
Not 500.
no, not 500. Fewer than 500.
Checkmate Mario.
Mario's got more things.
But no, also screw the entire moon. I just on a gaming related note from me, screw the entire moon.
You mean the moons that you collect? Like screw the moons?
No, like the moon.
The moon.
Like I don't want to say more than that because it's a spoiler.
Okay.
But
I probably haven't gotten there then. If I
the moon is awful.
Okay.
I hate the moon.
The moon has been kind of a jerk in past Nintendo games. I mean, Majora's Mask, dude, just
Oh my! But so is the sun. Think about the sun in Mario 3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, celestial bodies are
Nintendo
jerk.
just hates planets.
I guess.
Oh wait, no, the sun isn't a planet. Sorry. You're
Celestial
right.
bodies.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. I also got a couple things off the sales that are happening for Black Friday. I got the new Batman season from Telltale.
Nice.
Ah.
I bought Wolfenstein 2 and Kerbal Space Program. So I'm looking forward to playing some of that stuff. Talk about it next week.
I've heard good things about Kerbal.
Yeah, it's one of those things I watch people play. I'm like, oh man, it looks so cool. I would never be able to do that. And I finally decided to get it since it's on sale.
Nice.
I'm gonna go to the moon. I'm gonna plant my flag and say "fuck off, moon" and come back home.
I just pictured that, just a little space pod landing, you hopping out, flag, fuck off, moon, jump back in. Just...
Give it the middle finger while you're going. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it for the gaming related and personal information related part of the podcast. Now to head into the news.
Oh, we have news?
This is a bit newsy news. Damn it. Just do your newsy news tune and then I'll edit it in. And
you can edit it my newsy news tune.
Okay. So for the news of the week, there is no news. Most of the stuff there's like a little bit of stuff like that's like I think we talked about on the podcast or not already, but the Destiny 2 XP stuff, like that we just mentioned it. Not a big deal. At least from what I've seen.
Isn't StarCraft 2 free now or something?
Yeah, StarCraft 2 is now free. They just want more people to play StarCraft 2, I guess.
It's like the first chunk of the story, right? It's like the human campaign.
Oh, it's not all of it. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was the whole thing.
Yeah, they released it as 3 different games, so it's like the first part of the game is free, I guess. Is that right?
I thought it was the whole game because they did stuff like that before. It's like here's the first chapter free.
Wings of Liberty campaign. The award-winning StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty story campaign is free in its entirety.
Okay, yeah, that's the first part.
Yeah.
Anyways, StarCraft.
Because I'm downloading the Blizzard. I apparently didn't have BattleNet installed. I guess it's been a while since I played Diablo 3, so that's the only reason I ever installed it. But like I wipe my hard drive pretty regularly, so I guess I haven't reinstalled it. But I'm downloading that, so I was like, maybe I'll pick up StarCraft 2.
Yeah, why not?
I think the Wings of Liberty is the first part of StarCraft 2, right?
I really like the Protoss though. Like that's what I would want to play most.
I don't have any opinions on StarCraft. it's just that I wasn't. It wasn't like Diablo or like any of the other RTS games that I played that I was really into.
Diablo's not an RTS though, so
yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. Yeah, I thought it would be fun to like maybe bring up a couple of topics that Justin missed while he was out.
Sure.
To see if you have any strong opinions about anything. So, wrestling.
just gonna jump right in, aren't you? Just right off the top rope. Just jump right in.
Yeah, there you go.
I tried. No. That's the best you're gonna get from me.
Next. I'm just letting you guys have your moment.
Sonic.
What about it?
Okay, so we talked about rest. Like Jacob McCourt was on the show. We talked about rest. We talked about Sonic, like forces and annoying Sonic sounds. I'll take a no on that as well.
Hard pass.
I mean, I was just asking, what about it? Like, I haven't played Sonic Forces. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just oral fixation. Me and Lo talked about oral fixation last week.
We did for a minute. We did. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a sexy thumbnail. um, no, I do chew my fingers a little bit. I used to chew my nails really bad, but like I stopped doing that because like it was not good. So like my nails get really long, but like I still chew like the actual like fingers like underneath the nails. I can't stop that for some reason.
I do that too.
It's weird that you can stop one thing but not stop the other.
I did that for a while too. Yeah, like stop biting my nails. I'll just chew on my fingers instead.
Right.
How you getting at those fingers if those nails keep growing?
Around the edges.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually I'll get like it'll start to bleed around the sides.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
And then it heals and I start again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm dumb.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't really have a lot of like oral fixation stuff. Just mostly like on my fingers.
Mm-hmm. The Telltale Games layoffs.
I mean, that makes me sad, but like, you know, it's always sad when studios lose money and have to lay people off because that's their jobs. Like, I sympathize with people losing their jobs. But I think it's time that Telltale had a change. It sucks it has to happen this way.
Yeah.
But if they could have realistically kept those people on and worked on, you know, fewer projects while having some of those people work on the new engine, that would have been ideal. But I think when you have to probably lay off that many like programmers, it's so you can hire more like actual engineers or whatever that, you know, would build an engine. Because you're not going to work on as many games when you're trying to build a new engine, because that's what they've been doing. They haven't been able to really work on an engine because they're constantly putting out like 5 games at a time that all use that same engine. So they need to downsize in order to actually like bring in the next generation of whatever they're going to do, or else they'll never have time or resources to actually improve. So it was going to happen eventually, but it just sucks it has to happen this way, especially when so many other companies right now are laying people off at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just kind of, it makes things look bad. Like this has been in the cards for Telltale for a while. There's a lot of other scary studio stuff that's happening, but this one, I mean, it's not surprising. I'll say that.
All right. The state of EA, loot boxes, and all that.
I mean, EA is a complicated one because I don't like them. Like, I don't necessarily, you know, choose to not support them just because of who they are, because I've said this before, a lot of people work on these games, and it's not fair that just because their parent company sucks that they don't get, you know, money to live their lives. Like, I've even said this about Battlefront. Like, it's a good game. There's nothing wrong with the game itself, and there's plenty of people that are like, I'm not going to get Battlefront because of EA's scummy tactics. But like, they're the money makers. You know, they profit off of the sales of Battlefront, sure. But there's also a lot of other people that will probably lose their jobs if this game fails.
Right.
And that's a shame, because like it's a good game and it deserves recognition. But also, I mean, I wouldn't buy it anyway. It's not my style of thing. But also, like, it sucks that EA's tactics are going to make this game do poorly and possibly kill this franchise because they'll see that it's not a moneymaker. And they'll go back and rethink how they do everything, and they'll come out with a new option that still helps them make money, but, you know, also puts out a product to someone. They already stopped. This is the second time they've stopped the Battlefront property at 2. I think. Because there was originally Battlefront 1 and 2, and they rebooted it instead of continuing it, and now there's been Battlefront 1 and 2. What's going to happen next?
I don't know.
But I'm glad that it's making things change, because a lot of these companies, not just EA, but a lot of their, you know, it's mostly their games that kind of started the influx, are I've been trying to push the limit of what's allowed with monetization schemes for a long time now. And they have finally pushed it too far, and now people are pushing back. And so things are changing, and that's good, because we had to get to that point eventually. I think we've talked about this on the show before. Like, you know, they're going to keep going until it's too far, and then they're going to pull back and find that sweet spot, and they're going to stay there. And that's going to be the new game model. Because they're not going to raise the price of games. We could very easily pay $80 per game, and it would help a lot of this. But the second you change every game to $80 at launch,
Yeah.
people will riot and not buy games anymore.
Oh yeah.
But because, there's ways of like having a $60 game, but the, $100 special edition with all the DLC, or the, $25 season pass that you can buy bundled with the game for $80. So you get a little discount, or the, the microtransactions like loot crates and stuff like that. Like all that stuff helps offset the price of the $60 game. And it makes it seem like the average person's only paying $60 and they can choose to spend more on it. But because it's a choice, it means not everyone's doing it. And so they're not making, they can factor in like, well, everyone's going to spend, $80 to $100 on their game. And then it's the price we expect it to be. But not everyone's going to do that. There's going to be some people that just buy the base $60 game and that's it.
Yeah.
Or they're going to wait for it to go on sale. Like with Black Friday sales right now. Or, they're going to wait for the Game of the Year edition at the, I put Horizon Zero Dawn Game of the Year edition on my Christmas list. Because it's $50 with it includes all the DLC. I missed it at the beginning of the year because I was too busy with stuff. Whoops! Now it's $50 for everything. So like that stuff's gonna happen. It's always going to happen. But the hardcore gamers are still going to provide like 60 to 80% of the total cost of the game to the developers. Just like with free to play games, they say, I think it's like something like 90% of the money comes from like 10% of the player base. So they just need to figure that out, like what that percentage is, and push that. Because there's still the things like, Destiny 2 and its cosmetics. People will pay for that stuff.
Oh yeah.
They hate like consumable shaders, and I agree that sucks. But people will pay for the just the sheer cosmetic things. But if it's content locked behind paywalls and things like that, that's where you get into trouble. And EA needs to learn that when you have a progressing online game where people can buy for the things that make them better at the game and then just kill everyone using the stuff they bought.
Yeah.
It makes it not fun for anyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that this is happening. But it does suck that it's going to hurt Battlefront 2. Because like Need for Speed also came out around the same time. And that game has similar stuff in it, but isn't really getting any publicity because no one cares about Need for Speed anymore, apparently.
Yeah.
It sucks.
But like when they made the Battlefront 2 changes, they also made a bunch of changes to Need for Speed. But they really didn't make news very much because just no one cares. No one's playing it anyway.
I feel like no one, like there's not a lot of sales for Need for Speed Payback. I wonder if Battlefront 2 is going to sell because they've put Battlefront 1 on discount and includes all the season pass and DLC that they put out for it. Like that's all free right now.
Yeah.
And even my friend,
my
friend
brother
was
sent
like
me a picture from Black Friday stuff, and it was something like it said all the PS4 bundles have sold out, but the Battlefront 2 ones, and it was like this big display of just Battlefront 2 bundled PS4s.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
None of them were sold.
I've seen a lot of pictures
so
of
it's like,
just Battlefront 2 stuff in stock. Like
It seems like almost like it seems almost like Battlefront 2 is gonna just the way things are going, it seems like they're gonna become almost like the poster boy for this whole no more microtransactions sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which sucks because it's Star Wars. It's like, one of the IPs I'm more interested in. Like if there's a new Star Wars game, I'm like, oh cool, new Star Wars game. But this kind of thing had to happen at some point. Like Justin was saying, they're pushing the limits, and now they're learning what those limits are. And it's a hard lesson to learn, just because a lot of the time it means decreased sales, and then you're not going to make the money that you intended to. But it sucks, but it's kind of necessary because the microtransactions were getting a little ridiculous, just in general.
Yeah.
So
I had a friend who was super hyped for Battlefront 2, and then he said, well, maybe I should just get Battlefront 1 instead, because there's all this, like, it comes with the free DLC. It's only $20 right now on PC. So he was only worried about the player base. So he went and did the trial for a bit, and he said, yeah, the player base is still alive. Might as well just get the first one instead. And I think a lot of people are probably going to think that way. It's like, I hear 2 is really bad. I heard 1, like, it didn't have enough content, but there's all this free stuff that they put out over the year.
And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Like if you enjoy a series, but like the new version sucks, just play the old one. I've seen some people fighting Destiny 2. They're like, it doesn't have all the content that Destiny 1 had by the end, so we're just going to play Destiny 1, even though we hated that game when it launched too. Like, Destiny 2 will get there. I mean, it's not Sims 4 where they just stripped everything out of it to start over again.
Right.
Like, Sims 4 just freaking got another Pets expansion. There's been a Pets expansion every Sims game since the first one. Destiny 2 actually like built on the foundation of the first one, and it's just going to bring in new content as it goes. It didn't strip things out. So like you have to start somewhere with a new game. It just it happens that way. But like Battlefront 2, I think it's just going to get it's going to be the one that people forget about and then realize how good Battlefront 1 was. Even though it had those same complaints when it launched. I don't know. I think once this gets figured out, it's going to be good for the gaming industry in general. Because there's always these things that happen pretty much every generation as people like kind of find what works during that generation. Like I think last generation it was like a lot of the online gaming stuff. It was like the first generation where like all of the consoles were online connected. And when the Xbox 360 was first, or no, I guess it was when the Xbox One was first announced. It was like this is online only, like all of your games are going to live in the cloud. You have to be online to play every game. And they stopped that because people complained. And now they've kind of found the sweet spot of like some games are online only and you even have to play them, or you'd have to be online and play single player. But not all of them are, and things like that. But like, yeah, every generation has its stuff where it's like they have to figure it out, and then once they do, it becomes the new norm. Microtransactions aren't going away. It sucks because I hate them, but we'll figure out that thing where the average person that doesn't, that just plays a game to play a game, won't even know they're there. But the person that likes the cosmetics and the added features and things like that will buy them. And they'll flaunt their cool skin and stuff like that. But that'll be the minority. But they'll spend a lot of money on this stuff. And I made this comparison before, but it reminds me of like the, Marvel's Capcom 3, where it's like you can go on the store and buy like the alternate skins for the different characters, piecemeal. So not everyone would use them, but some people would have all of them. Even if they don't use those characters, it's like, I love having all the skins. They're so cool. And we're going to get to that point, I think, with these new games, where microtransactions aren't some like bad word. They're just an accepted thing that don't affect gameplay. Right. And I think that'll be okay.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with you because I've played, when I first got into PC gaming, that was pretty much all I would do is play free-to-play, is just because I was like, because I spent all the money building the dang PC. So, but so yeah, it was just mostly free-to-play. Some of them would be like, oh, hey, you can like buy like cosmetics and stuff. And I was like, oh, cool, maybe I'll buy one. And then other ones were, it was like, oh, you can buy this gun. It's more powerful than these other guns. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, why are you doing that? It's kind of a thing that's just been, I don't know. I don't want to say like they've been working on it. Well, they kind of have just because they've had to, because you have stuff like this. But yeah, if it gets to the point, just ideally, like if you are going to have microtransactions in your game, don't have it affect gameplay. That's pretty much it. I think that's the big lesson here is just don't make it to where you can have players buy power essentially. And then everything will be fine. It's just that corporate greed. That's when that starts to seem like, well, what if we can just slip it in there? Maybe if we can just slip it in there and they'll buy it anyways. I don't know, but we'll just have to see. We'll have to see.
I'm wondering about EA like next year, because considering that Mass Effect Andromeda was a flop, so it was Need for Speed Payback and quite possibly Battlefront 2. We don't know yet. Their sports games probably still do great for them, but it just makes you wonder, like, what's EA's plan for next year, or when Anthem comes out, like, what's going to happen with that?
Yeah,
we'll see changes, but I just don't know what those changes would be.
I hope Anthem is good. I really hope it's good.
Early reports are that it's basically like a Destiny,
which is fine.
Yeah.
I think the bigger deal is when games like the Star Wars thing, like that Star Wars game that got canceled because they wanted to refocus it as a games for service thing. I think that's the bigger problem. Is like companies not seeing the benefit of single player games, which Nintendo is excelling with Zelda and Mario and stuff. Like there's still those two are both Game of the Year contenders, and they're completely single player experiences. People don't get it,
right?
So
you
it's
got to make a good one.
Another Game of the Year contender.
You just got to make a good game. It's that
Right.
simple.
But all these companies just see, oh, well, we can make a lot more money with this games as a service thing. And people love those because of the social aspects. So we're just going to do that. We're going to cancel all single-player experiences and just do games as service. And that's terrifying.
Right.
So I prefer single-player. I like online stuff. Like I said, I want to play Destiny 2 with you guys. Like, I enjoy that stuff. But that's, like, what I want to do, like, when I'm feeling lonely or, like, just want, like, to hang out with you guys. Like, I just want to talk and, like, while also playing a game. Like, have these kind of conversations while playing a game.
That's what PUBG was for us.
I don't want to go online and deal with people. I want to play something by myself.
Yeah. Like, that's what PUBG was for us. Like we would just hang out and play a game and talk, shoot the shit.
Which I kind of miss, by the way. I don't know if I want to wait for the new map or not, but I do kind of miss PUBG sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have time now, so there's that.
Was there anything you wanted to say specifically? Because this might just be a short show. There's no news. We're just talking about topics.
I mean, there hasn't really been anything else major. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I still post comments and stuff about my thoughts on things in the Discord
and on Twitter. So,
well, yeah, but I don't know. There's been too much like in the news that I've been super upset by or anything.
Yeah.
I think it mostly sales and stuff.
Yeah.
Just on the note of single player, I definitely like agree with you in the fact that I prefer a good single player experience, and multiplayer is fun, but at the end of the day, a good single player game, like I'll have a lot more fun playing a good single player game, unless it's like, hey, I want to hang out with my friends and play some PUBG or whatever, stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm just kind of hoping in the year to come that developers and publishers focus a little bit more on the single player aspect, because it's still people like playing single player games. Like you're gonna have probably more people jumping into like a multiplayer game, especially if it's like a free to play kind of situation. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people discredit like single player games. Like, oh, what do you mean it's only single player? I'm not gonna play that. Where's the multiplayer? It's like, well, back then, that's all we had was single player. So it's like, I don't know.
Back in my day.
Back in the good old days. Karen, sorry.
And I think.
Go ahead. I was going to transition.
I think like that's part of the problem too. Is like Battlefront 2. They had this big thing with Battlefront 1 where it's like, okay, it's only a multiplayer online game. Like there's no single player experience. We want a single player experience. So Battlefront 2 made this really good single-player experience. Like, Janina Gavankar, who's, like, the lead in that, has been doing the press rounds and stuff, and she's super cool.
Yeah,
she's just, like, a total nerd and, like, just wants, like, just wants people to understand that, like, this is a viable medium for nerds now. Like, she's grown up with video games and stuff and, like, now is in them. And she's like, I'm just like you guys, but, like, I get to make this stuff. And so it's, like, it's been really fun kind of hearing her gush about this game. And like, I'm kind of curious about the single player experience in that, honestly. I'll probably pick it up when it's super cheap.
Yeah.
I just don't care about the online stuff, so I don't see any reason to jump out and get it now. But that's the thing, is like, all these people are boycotting this game for the online multiplayer stuff when it has a really solid, like, 6 to 8 hour single player campaign in it. That they put in because people complained about it in Battlefront 1. Right. And now everyone's been complaining, it's gotten all this bad press about the microtransaction stuff. So they've been fixing that stuff in the game to make people happy. And so it's like they're listening to complaints and criticism and stuff, but it's still not selling well because it just has a bad rep now. And I hate that. Like, even me, who hates EA and thinks that they're terrible in most cases, like, it bothers me that so many people are like, I don't care that they've changed. I'm still not going to buy it because they'll just change it back. Probably, but you can enjoy it right now, and you can enjoy the single-player campaign that you probably would have played anyway, even if you didn't like the multiplayer. So, like, I think single-player is where people need to focus on, because that's like you don't really put, you know, well, Shadow of War notwithstanding, you don't really put like the stupid microtransaction stuff into the single player because you're not showing anything off.
Right.
Some people will buy stuff just to beat the game quicker, but that's their own fault for not caring about the actual game. So I think we need a bigger single player focus.
Mm-hmm.
I was just
Go
going to
ahead.
transition into. We didn't talk about any of the Harry Potter stuff, so I don't know if you want to talk about.
Yeah,
any of
that's
that.
what I was going to ask. I assumed you didn't because you guys hate Harry Potter.
We just don't care about Harry Potter that much. I have the movie collection, but I don't care about this game.
I don't have
I'm a
the movie
superficial
collection
fan at best. I don't have them either.
because I bought all the movies and they put out the movie collection. I was like, man, that's so cool, but I own them all. But yeah, I thought there'd be more that would come out about it, like afterwards. But oh my God, Callie, why are you so
I
loud?
heard that.
Come here. Come here.
Callie.
Come here. Hey, come here. I'm trying to pick her up and she keeps like ducking her neck around. No, I just want to whine and be on the floor. Okay, anyway. It would have been funnier if it was Weasley that came to see me when I was talking about Harry Potter, but whatever.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, I freaking love Harry Potter, like as the universe. We had a charged up episode where we were talking about like something we'd love to see as a TV show, and my pick was Harry Potter because I just want more from that universe.
Yeah.
But like, there's been so much Harry Potter news, and I think a lot of it's because they're ramping up for the new Fantastic Beasts movie. That they announced the release date for, like while we were gone.
Yeah.
And even though it still makes me mad that they replaced Colin Farrell with that terrible person Johnny Depp, I still am really excited for that movie. But
What?
yeah, like same. I mean, not technically the same character, but whatever. I don't want to spoil Fantastic Beasts. But
I just hope the sequel's good because that first one, oh boy.
I liked it. It had some weird stuff, but it was world
I
building.
liked it too. I liked
what they were trying to do. Like it was
It's one
fun
of the
to see.
very few movies I stopped halfway through because I was just so not interested.
Oh, you gotta finish it.
No, I'm good.
Whatever.
Well, I liked it.
No, I really enjoyed seeing the universe
All right.
outside of this show or outside of the school.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what kind of kept me going. There was some weird stuff, I'll admit. Most of it with Ezra Miller character, because I think I just don't like Ezra Miller. I think I've decided that. Like I don't think he's going to be a good Flash. I'm kind of worried about him. I didn't like him in that movie. He was okay in Perks of Being a Wallflower, but he felt like kind of the weird autistic friend. Yeah, I think I just don't like Ezra Miller. But anyway, that's besides the point. I want more from that universe, and it makes me really happy that they're like doing some new licenses and things like that. But I don't necessarily want like a Niantic Harry Potter game because Niantic had a game before Pokemon Go. For those that don't know, it was called Ingress, and it was basically Pokemon Go without the license. You go around, like there's 2 factions or 3 factions, I don't remember which. And you pick a faction, and then like different landmarks are like nodes that you can control. And you get like points based on how many nodes your team controls. So it's like this kind of group thing. My brother used to play it a lot. So it's group thing, more of like an RTS type thing where it's like you're trying to take over different regions. And you can like see the whole map of like what's what color. But that was it. There was no, there's no battle system or anything. It was literally like you go to this place, you take the node, and then, you go on to the next one, whatever. So Pokemon Go took that same map, that same technology, and put the Pokemon skin onto it and added the Pokemon battles, the gyms, things like that. If Niantic does a Harry Potter game, it's going to be the same thing, just with magic spells and probably magical creatures you're collecting. Mm-hmm. Like if they do a Fantastic Beasts type crossover type thing, you're going to be catching the different beasts that Newt is out to get, or like finding chocolate frogs and stuff like that, like little collectible things.
So what would you be throwing at the beasts to capture them?
You'd probably just be using a wand, like magic spells.
No chocolates or spells or anything?
No. I mean, maybe nets. I don't know, but no, it's probably just magic spells, like a rigor mortis type thing to stun them, and then you grab them. Or you throw like the crap.
Stupefy.
He has something in Fantastic Beasts that he kind of like. he like throws something at them to like get them into his big bag of, you know, never-ending space. I don't remember what it is exactly, but
I don't remember either.
something like that is the point. Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing, and like, well, I mean, I'll still play it because it's Harry Potter and it's cool. Like, I want something more. I miss the old like movie tie-in Harry Potter games, because some of those were really good.
They always
And
just
we
look
haven't
like
really gotten
games that
since
you would
movies.
just wander around in the world in, and there wasn't really much there.
The movie tie-ins?
Yeah.
No, they were so good.
Okay.
Like, you go around the school and like do a bunch of different quests and like get more magic spells and things like that. There's actually one on the Game Boy Color that was really cool because it was an RPG. Like, it was a turn-based RPG. And as you go, you unlock like more of the magic spells, and like you fight like rats and trolls and all kinds of stuff. And like your party is made up of like Harry and Hermione and Ron. And yeah, it was really simple because it was on the Game Boy Color, but it was kind of cool for what they could do.
Is that going to be on your list of underrated Game Boy Color games?
No, I'm not doing a Game Boy Color list, but there may or may not be a Harry Potter game on my upcoming GameCube list. So shut your face.
Good old GameCube.
Yeah, because the GameCube ones were the best. Well, GameCube PS2, but I like the GameCube versions of those more. But yeah, I want more like big kind of AAA type Harry Potter games. Because the ones that came at the end were kind of crappy. Like I think they were like the PS3, Xbox 360 ones. That were like basically like you control all three characters, and it's like almost an on-rails shooter type thing. They were good. So it was like I think it was the 6th and 7th ones. Because they were more action-based movies, so they tried to turn it into like an action shooter, and I didn't like it. I preferred like the kind of the more Zelda type games where it was like puzzles and stuff. But yeah, because there hasn't been new like Harry Potter media in a while, there hasn't really been new games. So I just want more from that universe, so that we have more games. But I hope this is the start of something bigger, is the point. I know that kind of got off topic for a little while, but yeah, I want more Harry Potter stuff. And you guys need to care.
All right. I think that's going to be a show unless we have something else we want to talk about.
Not really. I got my Harry Potter stuff 2 weeks late.
All right. Justin, where can the people find you?
I am at Zero Score on all the places. I'm on Twitter, YouTube, VidMe, whatever I can remember to put stuff there. Twitch eventually. I think I'm going to get through graduation first and then start streaming again. Because I was going to do like weekend streams, but then in 2 weeks I graduate, so I'm not going to be around on the weekend. So I'm like, okay, let's get through the holidays first, and then I'll get back to things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got plenty of YouTube stuff coming out. Like I said, there's going to be vlog stuff from the honeymoon coming out. There's actually something that'll be out by the time this podcast goes live, of me and Brooke trying like foreign candies.
Ooh,
it was just something kind of quick to edit together to get back into the swing of editing things again. So like we just went to this little convenience store and found a bunch of like chocolates and like gummies and a few drinks. And tried those out. It's not like really weird stuff. It's just stuff that we don't have over here. So we kind of wanted to see what they were. Some of them are better than others. But yeah, that's coming out like I think tomorrow as of recording this. So you guys know. Bugs. And there will be I finished the DS list that I had mentioned before I went away. There's going to be some GameCube ones coming out in December. And then some more stuff in the future that Lo knows a little bit about. But
I'll never tell.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just mostly YouTube. I'm trying to get more stuff out there while I don't have Final Fantasy stuff going on right now because I have time to edit now. Life is normal. So it's been fun.
Lo, where can the people find your stuff?
Y'all can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero, all spelled with letters. And I do care about Harry Potter. I have a wand.
Is that an actual like?
It's from the Harry Potter park in Orlando, actually. Yeah, it's not the one where you can like interact with stuff and be like, I'm gonna turn on the lights.
Oh, okay.
Because those are really expensive. But
yeah,
I only work
there. so it's not
Yeah.
that big a deal.
Exactly. And I really wanted Lupin's wand, so I ended up getting that. I'm gonna go back with Tanya so we can get her a wand of her own. But
Yeah, I went there once and like tried the butterbeer and stuff, but I didn't get a wand because they were expensive. But I got a shirt.
Yeah. Fire whiskey is basically Fireball.
Oh yeah, I didn't try that. I just tried the butterbeer.
It's good. It's good. Butterbeer was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And you can find me, your host, Thomas, at CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also check us all out here at chargeshot.com. You can email me, Thomas, at chargeshot.com. Lo, are you up for some Destiny later today?
Yes.
All right. So until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Good to be back.
All right. I need to go eat real quick.
Yeah. Well,